Folks, for the past several days, the nation has been gripped in protests all across the country after President Trump's team imposed an executive order putting in place a ban on folks traveling from 7 countries. Now, the Trump team says this is not a ban on Muslims, when critics say it absolutely is. Several federal judges have ruled against the administration, saying that it is unconstitutional. Now they are going to go to court. Oral arguments will take place today, 6 p.m. Eastern, in a court in San Francisco. The Justice Department, they're trying to reinstate the travel ban that was put on hold by a Seattle judge on Friday. Now, since the lower court suspension, foreign nationals from 7 predominantly Muslim countries have been traveling to the United States, making their way here. President Trump has severely criticized the judge, James Robart, and said he'd hold him accountable if the U.S. were attacked. This is what Trump tweeted. Quote, "Just cannot believe a judge would put our country in such peril. If something happens, blame him and court system. People pouring in bad." Now, among the growing opposition to Trump's travel ban, more than 100 tech companies have filed a legal brief siding with the states fighting the ban. Yesterday, also, the opposition continued, and for some reason, Trump, speaking to troops in Tampa, Florida, said the ban is part of the fight against terrorism.
We will defeat radical Islamic terrorism, and we will not allow it to take root in our country. We're not going to allow it. We need strong programs so that people that love us and want to love our country and will end up loving our country are allowed in, not people that want to destroy us and destroy our country.
A 3-judge panel will hear the appeal by phone, issue their ruling. There's no doubt, no matter what happens here, it will be appealed to the Supreme Court, of course, which sits 4-4 for conservatives as well as for liberals. Joining us via Skype is Gadir Abbas, an attorney for the Council on American Islamic Relations. They filed a lawsuit in a federal court in Virginia last month challenging the Trump executive order. Also joining us in D.C. is Gianna Caldwell, Republican strategic strategist at Caldwell Consulting. Avis Jones DeWeaver, leadership strategist, author of How Exceptional Black Women Lead. Tiffany Lofton, she, of course, is an education and labor union organizer. All right, first of all, I want to go to you first, Gadir. When you listen to the president talk about this is fighting terrorism, the 7 countries, there's no evidence that individuals from those 7 countries have committed terrorist acts. And so, again, the rationale that he is offering makes no sense.
That's absolutely right. This is what he described it as in his campaign. This is a ban on Muslim immigration. And one very important thing to know is that while this does not apply to all Muslims in the world, this ban only applies to Muslims. The text of the executive order itself provides a means for people that are not Muslim from these 7 countries to immigrate to the U.S. And that's, I think, a really important thing that's being lost in the mix. There isn't a dispute about what the executive order does, and we don't have to even rely on Donald Trump's words, the words of his close advisors, because the text itself makes it very clear that this is about religious discrimination more than it is about national security.
Gadir, I was reading a New York Times story today, and it said that some 15,000 doctors in America would come from these 7 countries. That's a problem because you're now putting the health care of American citizens in jeopardy.
And you're also, I would not be here. My parents immigrated from Iraq in the 1980s as students. I would not be here. My relatives would not be here. And there's a lot of folks that have made significant contributions to the United States that would not be here because of the immigration ban, the Muslim ban that has been imposed by Donald Trump. And so really what has made the United States stronger than some European countries, than Japan and other nations, is its willingness and openness to accept immigration. You see in modern post-industrialized nations this phenomenon of decreasing populations, and immigration in the United States offsets that natural tendency for richer countries to be less producing of children. And so here, what I think is really important is that at the end of the day, the Constitution forbids Donald Trump from utilizing his authority in a way that discriminates against Muslims, discriminates against Islam, and the courts are checking him against it.
All right, good to hear. We certainly appreciate you joining us, and certainly good luck when it comes to this legal challenge.
Thank you.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. NewsOne Now with Roland Martin, every weekday morning at 7 on TV1.